Good day everyone, welcome to ITS 306 Web Development 2. My name is Julius, your instructor. Today we're going to have another pre-recorded class. This is in continuation to our discussion about e-commerce using Bootstrap. Today we'll be talking about adding more web pages. So be sure to watch the entire video, listen, and please try to take note attentively. After this class, there will be learning assessment and assignment to be posted. So without any further ado, let's get started. And if you have any questions or clarifications, please be sure to share it with the class. Send it in our official Facebook chat group. Alright, so just a review. Previously we've learned about using Bootstrap for creating an e-commerce website, and particularly we're able to design the land page. Alright, so basically we've already created the land page or the home page of our website, and today we're going to continue adding more web pages, and we'll try to design all the possible web pages that we'll be needing for our website. So just a review, this is our checklist, or basically this is the details on the websites that we'll be working, and the project name is Kicks Bootstrap e-commerce. The purpose is it's an online store for branded shoes for women, men, and kids. And the navigation links are fresh drops. Basically, that is the landing page, the one that we created or designed last week. And then today we're going to add more web pages, particularly for men, women, kids, brands, and we'll create the web pages for each of these for each of these navigations. And then here are the details as to how are we going to do it, what are the things that we're going to include. So all of these are easy to use, easy to do rather, and most of the components will be available to us by Bootstrap. And so aside from the men's, women's, and kids, we'll also be creating the product detail and the page where we can add or edit the shoes. Alright, so just a review, this is the wireframe. We've already done this last time. This is the landing page. So we have the carousel, and then banners, and then the links to each brands, and then our footer. So we've already done that last time. This time we are going to create these web pages. So for men, women, and kids, basically they are similar, and that's what we're going to do today. And then for the brands, and then the product details, and then the add new shoes or edit shoes page. Alright, so actually I've already done it. Here it is. Allow me to show it to you. So this is what we've come up last time. This is the landing page, and if we're going to click on the navigation at the top under men, we see here the detail. This is the page. Basically on the right side, on the left side rather, we have the sidebar containing the brands. But we have all Nike, Adidas, Jordan, Under Armour, and so on. So basically right now it's displaying all men's shoes, so regardless of which brand. So basically by default it will display all, but we can filter this out by just selecting the brand. So for example, if we're going to click Adidas, soon it will just display all men's shoes which are Adidas, something like that. Now notice that these are cards or grids, basically of the same of an actual shoes. Now if you want to learn more about this particular shoes, we have to click view shoes, and it will display the product detail. So we have here the grid or the gallery of the actual photos of the shoes. We have here a breadcrumb rather, containing the brand, the category, and the model. We have here the model and the brand, and then the description, and then some other information about the product, and then the price, and then a link or a button that will link to the actual web page where we can order this product. And at the bottom you will see you may also like. So basically it will also give us recommendations related to the product that we've shown, that we've opened up. So the web page will display some other similar products. And then of course we have here the footer, and then basically that's the same thing with the women and kids. Alright, and here's another thing. Under brands, we'll also create a web page containing all the shoes that belong to the brand. For example, if we're going to click Nike, it will display all the Nike shoes, just like that. And then on the left side we have here a sidebar that contains a category. Let's say right now it displays all the shoes for Nike, and then we can filter it out by selecting on the sidebar on the category. We can either select men, women, or kids. We just have to click on it and it will display according to its category. And then there's also another sidebar that will route us to move to another brands. So we have here Nike, Adidas, so on and so forth. And then basically that's it. However, if we're going to go to the admin page and then add shoes.php, it will give us the form in which we can add shoes. Basically, we can add shoes to our database or to our website. So right now all of these are not working just yet because we are still working on the design, but soon, once we're already done with the design, we will focus on the PHP and MySQL, and that's the time that we're going to learn how to add functionalities to these web pages. So that's the time that this add new shoes page will actually let us add new shoes and then edit the shoes, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at the add new shoes page. Basically on the left side you will see a drop down or a sidebar that contains an option or a link to let us view all the shoes and then add new shoes. And then basically only the administrator users can add shoes to the database. So obviously before we get to this web page we have to log in first, as we have to sign in as an administrator, and then obviously we can also sign out. Alright, and then also we have the footer. So pretty much that's all of the web pages that we'll be needing, or at least the design. There will be more web pages that we are going to create as we go along, but for the meantime we're already done with the design, or I am already done with the design, the major designs for the major pages that we'll be using for this web page, or for this website rather. So today we will try to recreate each of these web pages that I've shown you, and allow me to show you where we left off last time. Okay, so this is where we left off last time. I haven't done anything to it yet. So we have here the carousel, the banners, the brands, and the footer. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create pages for the men, women, kids, and brands, and then we're also going to create the web page for the product detail and add new shoes. Alright, so we'll start with the men's. Okay, so I've already loaded up the web page, or I'm sorry, the source code. So on the left side you'll see the PHP file, and on the right side would be the customized style.css. So let's create a new file. Let's call it men.php, and then we're just going to copy, for the meantime, we're just going to copy some of the elements that we can find on our index.php. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to copy is of course the navigation. So let's look for the navigation. It should be easy for us to do so since we've created a comment, diba? So this is the nav bar, so we're just going to copy it, paste it on the men. But before we do so, of course, we're going to add the basic HTML structure. Alright, and this time let's call it kicks. Alright, let me make sure I got the right title. Okay, kicks bootstrap e-commerce. Alright, so let's just call it kicks, and then men shoes. Alright, and then let me paste our navigation inside the body tag. Alright, next is we're going to include all the other links that we've added. So we're just going to copy this and then paste it inside the head tag. Alright, and then next is let's go back to our index.php, and then we're just going to create the link so that whenever we click this, it will actually let us get to the men.php. So again, let's go back to the index and let's look for the navigation for men's, which is this. Alright, so notice that we've already had a standby link functionality, but right now it just uses hash. So we'll change that into men.php, and then on the fresh drops, let's call it index.php, and then while we're at it, we're just going to add the same thing under our logo, index.php. Alright, and then we're just going to create ones for we're just going to add for the women's and kids, although we haven't created that yet, but just for us to be ready, we're also going to edit it out. So for the women, we will add women.php, and then for the kids, let's say kids.php. Alright, let's save that. And then another thing we're going to add, right now since we're under index, it would be best if we can add another class to our fresh drops. Let's call it active, and here's what's gonna happen. So actually, again, this is a predefined or designed by Bootstrap. So if I'm going to add active, here's what's gonna happen. Only under fresh drops, by the way. Let's save that and let's reload. Okay, right now the fresh drop is highlighted because it is currently active, meaning we are currently inside the fresh drops page. Now if we're going to click men's, it should route us to the men page. Right now it doesn't have anything to it yet, but the link is already working, and we just have to set it to active as well. So let's go to, right, before anything else, let's proceed with, let's just change something because this is wrong grammar. So let me erase the S for men and women. Alright, and then let's go to men.php. Let's change that. Let's remove the S because that's gonna be wrong grammatically wrong. And then this time let's do the same thing with what we just did a while ago. First is we're going to change the href for our logo to index.php, and then for the fresh drops, same thing, index.php. Men, let's add men.php, and then for women, let's add women.php, and then kids.php. Alright, let's save that. And then another thing, we're going inside our inside our men navigation link, we're going to add another class which is called active. Okay, so once we set it to active, let's save that and let's reload. The men is now highlighted, so it just makes the design a little bit better because it will let the user know that they are under the men section or men page. Alright, so let me open up the our guide real quick before, hold on. Okay, so this is gonna be our wireframe. Allow me just to add it on standby. So after we've added our navigation, obviously we wanted to create this banner. Okay, so there are several ways on how we can do it. Of course, we're just going to make use of Bootstrap again. So let me just open the codes again, Let's make sure we're under the men. Alright, and this time we are going to create a banner. Alright, so for us not to have any confusion in the future, so it's always better to add comments every time that we're going to add an element or component to our website. So this time let's call it banner, and then end of banner. Alright, and we're going to create a division, and then let's call it alright, for the meantime let's call it carousel. Alright, so we have here a division that has a class name carousel, and inside the division carousel we're going to add another division, and let's call it carousel inner. Alright, so although this is no longer a carousel, but we're just going to make use of the carousel, the design of we're just going to make use of how the carousel is actually designed by Bootstrap. That's why we are using carousel. And inside the carousel inner we're going to add our photo. So to add photo, we're just going to use image tag and then src. So let's select which photos to use. For men, we want this photo, this one right here. Let me increase the size a little bit. Okay, so we would like to add this photo as our banner image, so that is inside the images folder, and then file name is men.jpg. so we will add images. Sorry, that's not in alt, it should be in the src. Okay, images and then men.jpg. okay, and then we would like to set the image to 100% width. Okay, so for us to do that, we're going to add a class, and then let's call it w100. so when we write w-100, meaning it will give the picture 100% width. So again, that is still in Bootstrap. Okay, and then let's reload that for the meantime. Let's see how it looks. Let's open up our web page. Here it is. Okay, so we have a photo that has a 100% width. Alright, next is we want to add a text. Alright, let's see our example. We want to add a text inside. It's like this. It will say men's shoes, and then some description. So the description isn't really final, we're just going to add some random text to it. So let's go back to our code, and for us to add another text, we have to create a division, and then let's call it, alright, we're going to create a division, and let's add a class name carousel-caption. Again, this is still from Bootstrap. If we're going to add carousel caption, it will automatically create the text that goes along with the actual carousels. Alright, so inside it, let's add an h1. Let's call it and then let's add men's shoes. Alright, and then we're going to add a paragraph, and then we're just going to write the description. So let me just copy and paste it. Alright, let's save that and let's see how it looks like. Alright, right now it's at the bottom. Obviously we're going to fix that in just a moment. Okay, so what to do next? The first thing that we're going to do is we want the picture to be just half. Ganun to nga, half lang instead of having a full screen. So just like this. We'll only want the picture to be divided or to be cut into just half of the screen. We don't want the entire 100% or full screen of the photo. Okay, so again we're just going to cut it to half. So how are we going to do that? We are going to open up our style.css and then we are going to divide it. Okay, so first is, hold on just a moment, let me okay. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change our carousel. Instead of using just carousel, let's try to add another class name to it, and then let's call it banner. Okay, banner, and then let's just add half. Alright, just in case if there are any class name inside Bootstrap that is also called banner. So we're going to add another class name inside our main division, and then we'll call that in our CSS. So since we are using class, we're going to use dot, and then we're just going to call banner half, and then let's add some properties to it. So first is we want our height to be 50% view height. That means it's just gonna be using 50% or half of the screen. And then we want aside from the banner itself, we want the picture also to be cut into half, cut into two. All right, so that means we're just going to we'll try this for the meantime. We will add the image img. All right, let's try that. That means the image inside the banner half, hold on, let me erase that. Okay, so again, let's try again. So we want the banner to be cut into half, and then the picture inside the division banner half. All right, so we will add we'll add a comma, and then banner half img. All right, so what does it mean is we want the banner half or the division banner to be divided into two, and then the image inside the said division. Let's set it to 50% view height. Let's save that and let's reload. Oops, hold on. Alright, here it is. Okay, so notice that the picture is stretched, so it only uses 50% of the space, but by doing so the picture has changed its ratio and proportion. So right now it looks like it is stretched. So how are we going to fix it? Obviously there's one way to do it, is we're going to crop the picture instead of stretching it out. We're going to make it like the photo is being cropped. Okay, so please take note of this. This is what we've been doing this for quite a while already. So here's how to do it. So inside the banner image, let's add one particular property called object fit, and then let's set it to cover. Save that. Let's reload. Here it is. Okay, so the picture is no longer stretched, it is now being cropped. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to move it to the left side to make it look good. Okay, so hold on. Alright, so to do so, we're just going to copy whatever it is that we did here. Okay, notice that we just, I'm sorry, here. Alright, so notice that, okay, this is not what we want. I mean this. Okay, so we're just going to copy whatever it is what we did in this area to here. Hold on. Okay, so right now it looks something like this, but we want it to make it look like this. Alright, so all we need to do, since we've already coded that on our web page, we're just going to copy it. So let's go back to our code. Let's go look to the index and let's see what we did to it. So if we're going to scroll down inside the carousel, inside the carousel inner, hold on, let me look for it. Alright, so if we're going to look at the carousel caption, we've added an ID called banner text. So basically that is what we did that led the text from that allowed the text to be moved from the bottom to the left side. So if we're going to go back to the style.css, let's look for the banner text. Here it is. So we've done this particular properties and then apply it to the text that made it look like this instead. Alright, so obviously for us to copy that, let's go back to our code and then let's go to the main.php. That means inside our div class carousel caption, we're going to create an ID and let's name it, you've guessed it right, banner text. Right, that means it will copy whatever it is that we've done with the ID banner text, this one right here. So let's save that, let's save both of them for good measure, and then let's go to main.php. Alright, so here it is. Okay, next we are going to add, hold on. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add this right here, this section that says all men's shoes, and then our sidebar. Alright, so here's how it's gonna look like. So it will say all men's shoes, and then it will display a sidebar that contains all of these information like the brands and other categories. So obviously the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a division or a column that can be divided into two. So the first column will have this area, and then the second column will have this area. Okay, so if you can remember back in our back from the last semester, we're just going to make use of CSS Grid. Okay, and fortunately for us, it is available inside Bootstrap. So let's go back to our code. And then we will add another section here at the bottom. Let's call it sidebar. Oops. And of sidebar. Okay, let's create a division. And and we will use the class name container. Alright, so we've created a container. We've created a division that has container class. So that means it will automatically adjust the web pages on our own. It will provide it will automatically give it margins and paddings. So after that, we are going to create. Alright, let me just remove this comment because it is out of place. This time around, this is where we're going to create our sidebar. So we will add another hold on. Okay. Alright, I guess to make sure that all of the contents inside the division container will automatically flex it from basically it will automatically create a grid. So we will add another class name which is called row. Right, so again, row is another class name. In Bootstrap, it will allow us to separate each divisions or components and arrange it horizontally. So when we add the class name row using Bootstrap, it will automatically arrange the contents horizontally. So for example, if we're going to create two divisions, let's say div. So for example, this division, and then we're going to create another division as well. Okay, now we have two division, and by default it will display horizontally. But if we're going to add row, these two divisions will be arranged vertically, and we want that because we want the first. Okay, we want to make it look from the left side. This is the sidebar, and the container or the actual shoes will be on the right side, which is of course horizontal. So that's why we're going to add row. Okay, so let me erase this for the meantime, and then this time we're going to add sidebar. So we will work with the sidebar first, and then end of sidebar. Okay, so inside the sidebar, of course, this is where we're going to create the column for the sidebar. Okay, so since we'll be using columns here, so if you can remember, for us to create a column, we are going to use this Bootstrap function. So first is we're going to create, hold on. Okay, we're going to create a division. Let's call it call large 3. Okay, so we've created a division that's called call large 3. So basically it will allow us to create a division that has 3 columns, basically the size of 3 columns, and then it will collapse when we're using large. Basically it will the middle, which is the LG, means large, and basically that's just a function when we are going to make use of it on mobile. So it will basically this will be useful kung ato na i-turn ang atong website into a mobile view. So for the meantime, let's just use call large 3. So that is for our sidebar, and we will create another division. And since this is 3, diba? For us to create 100% of the screen, it needs to be 12. So that means since ang first one is 3, then the other one should be 9. Alright, so we'll add another division here, and let's call it call large, and then let's say 9. Alright, so this one right here, dere is para sa ato ang sidebar. This would be for the shoe container. So obviously we're going to create a comment here that says shoes display, and then lang shoes display, and then here and shoes display. I'm not really good with my adding titles, but at least masabta na to. Alright, next let's continue working on our large, or on our column 3, basically our sidebar, kumbaga. Alright, and then for us to add the sidebar, let's open up Bootstrap. Okay, Bootstrap Sidebar, and then here it is. So these are the list of sidebars that will be used, that is being offered by Bootstrap. And which one do we want, right? So obviously we want this. We want a collapsible sidebar. So how are we going to copy this? So obviously, again, all you need to do is just make sure to download the the Bootstrap examples. So I'm pretty sure you already know how to do it, but just in case you haven't done it already or haven't tried it before, make sure to click this, download examples, and you'll see this folder. Okay, you'll get this folder, bootstrap-5.1.3 examples, and then let's look for sidebars. Here it is. And when we're going to open up the index.html, you'll find this. Basically, it's the same thing that we've seen a while ago, and we want this particular sidebar. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we want the 4th sidebar. So let's close it, and let's open up the sidebar. Let's edit it on, let's say, a Notepad++. Here it is, and we want to copy the 4th navigation. So let's scroll it down, and here, this is the first one. So that's 1. Take note of the color violet. That's the start, and then the end is the ones highlighted. So we have 2. Oops, nalapaw. We have 2. We have 3, and we want the 4th one, which is this. Alright, so all we need to do is we're just going to copy this entire division, this one. Let's copy that, and let's go back to our code. We'll add it here. Let's paste it right here. Alright, let's save that, and let's see how it will look like. Okay, right now it's showing on the left side. Alright, so right now it's not working properly. It's because we've forgotten to add our JavaScript again. So let's go back to our main.php, and then we're going to add our JavaScript at the bottom. So to do so, we'll type script. Hold on. And then let's add our JavaScript, which is inside Bootstrap, and then JS, and then the JavaScript, the bootstrap.bundle.js. So it's inside Bootstrap, and then JS, and then bootstrap.bundle.js. Oops, that's it. Let's save that. Let's reload. Let's see if it's working. Okay, it's working now. But notice that it doesn't really look that good, because this is one of the problem with Bootstrap, and sometimes it may not work in some cases, but don't you worry, we'll be able to fix it. But it may need some some try and error to make sure that we'll still get the actual design, which is supposed to be asa na ron ang mga sidebar. which is supposed to be like this. Alright, hold on. Alright, so let's start editing it out. So we're currently under med.php, and let's go to the codes. Hold on. Here. Alright, so first is we want to remove the background. Right now it is color white, and we want to remove the color. It's because we want it to be transparent. Alright, so to do so, we're just going to here, let's look for the BG, means background. Let's remove it. Alright, then okay, let's remove this SVG because that is the Bootstrap logo. Let's remove that. Alright, hold on. Okay, and then let's add all means shoes instead of collapsible. We've replaced it with all men's shoes. And then what else? We want to say brands, and then the list of the brands. So let's do just that. Hold on. Okay, let me open it up right here. Alright, okay, let's start editing it up. So first is we're going to replace the home with, let's say, brand. Okay, and then here inside the list, instead of saying overview, updates, and reports, let's change that to the actual brand. So let's start with all, and then next we will add Nike, and then Adidas. Alright, and we're just going to copy paste it. So we're just going to copy that, paste it, let's say 1 2 3 4. Okay, and then let's edit the rest to, let's say, Jordan. Under Armour. Vans, DC Shoe, and Puma. Is that it? Hold on. Or one more. New Balance. Save that. Let's see. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so it now says all menus, but it's invisible. It's because right now by default it's set to dark color, so we just have to fix that. So let's obviously let's change the color to white. So to do so, on the bottom, hold on, so here, so first is let's change the color of the all men shoes. So notice, remember that on our style.css all headers will have this color, right? So obviously we're just going to turn this into headers. So instead of using span, let's try h2, let's change it to h2, and it should automatically change it to this color. All right, next is we want the list, these ones, to be color white. All right, so to do that, hold on. Alright, let's try this. Let's see if it will fix it. So we'll say all A will have this color. So meaning all links will have this color, and let's set the text decoration to none to remove the. Alright, it didn't fix it, so hold on, let me work on it. Alright, it's okay. Here it is. So notice that on the class link it says link dark, so we'll change that to light. Alright, let's copy and paste it. So right now it says dark, that's why we cannot see it since we already have a dark background. So let's replace the dark with light. Let's save that, and then for the brand, hold on. Let's save that real quick, and then let's reload. Alright, so for the word brand, which is for some reason, alright, so it's, for some reason it's not showing. Hold on, let me see what I can do with that. Alright, I think I got it. So we will add the button at the bottom. Let's go back to our style.css, and since this is a button, so we will say that all the buttons will have this design. So let's add a button, and then we want the color to, let's say the color is gonna be white, the font color, and then the background color is this. Let's copy that, let's save that, and then let's try to reload. Let's see if it fixed it. Alright, for some reason it's still not, but let me see what else I can do. Alright, I think I got it. So instead of using the button, alright, let's use the class name instead. Alright, so let's replace it. Instead of button, we'll use a class name, btn. Let's save that, and okay, here it is. Okay, so our navigation, or our buttons are now visible. Okay, so let's continue editing it out. What else? So we want the other drop downs to say other shoes and men and women and kids. So let's do just that. Let's remove the other drop down since we don't want them anymore. Alright, so we're going to remove this, and then this one as well. Okay, and then for the dashboard, let's say other category. Is that it? Other shoes, rather. Other shoes, and then let's say, since we're currently working on men, so the other shoes will be men and kids, women and kids, and then let's remove this. let's save that. Let's reload. Here it is. Oops, that's not it. Let's reload. And okay, let's reload again. Hold on. Okay, I think I've overdone it. Hold on, let me undo everything. Okay, so for the Lee, alright. Let's remove this and this. Alright, let's save that. So this is for the brand, this is for the dashboard, this is for, okay, let's save that. Okay, and then let's remove the account, which is this. Alright, let's save that. Alright, actually it's working now. It's just we cannot see it. It's because right now it's color dark. So again, let's do the same thing. Let's say change it to light. This one should also be light. Alright, let's save that. Let's reload. Alright, and then we'll erase this. Let's change the overview to women and kids. Alright, okay, and if we're going to compare it, notice that in this side right here, it displays on the left side. It has a little bit of space from the left side until our sidebar. So how are we going to fix that? We are going to create a container and then a row. Alright, to fix it, let's try this. We're going to create another division. Let's call it container. Let's erase this, and this time we're going to erase the container on the second row. So that means, and then we're going to create another division here. Let's save that and let's reload. Here, okay, that's better. So basically, instead of creating container and a row on the same division, we've separated it. So we've created a division that contains that is container, and then inside the container we'll create another division that is called row. Alright. Okay, let me open up my color palette so I can use the proper colors. Instead of, okay, so this is the color that I want. That's better. let's just undo. We'll keep it that way. Alright, okay, that's better. Alright, next, so we're already done with our sidebar. This time we're going to create another column here. So since this is 3, we're going to create another division here, which is of course 9. So I think we've already done that. Did we? Yes, we've already created a column that is that has a class name column large 9. So here, let's do just the same thing, but this time around we're going to create cards. This one right here. So how are we going to create this? So let's go to get Bootstrap again. So you just have to Google Bootstrap and then card. Okay, click on the Bootstrap card 5. Cards Bootstrap 5.0, and here it is. So this is an example of a card. So we're just going to copy this, right? Hold on. Let me add this real quick. Let me see if there's anything that it will do. Hold on. Alright, never mind. Let's close it. Let's erase this. Okay, alright, so this time around let's work on adding this cards right here. So first is, let's copy the cards side Bootstrap. So let's copy this and let's paste it here, and I'll choose display. Okay, so let's hold on. Let me make sure I've done it right. Alright, so we'll create another division and let's call it row. In that way it will automatically create a grid for us, and then we'll paste it right here. Okay, so this is the card that we've copied a while ago. Let's save that, and then let's add some photos to it. So let's open up our folder. So we have here the images, and then inside shoes we have here this photos, and this is what we want. So first is we're going to replace the source to images, and then shoes, and then af.jpg. Okay, let's save that, and then let's see how it looks like. Alright, so we already have our first card. Now we just have to do, okay, we just have to change this before we're going to copy and paste it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we want to change the title, and then we'll go, since the description is light so we cannot see it, so we have to fix that too. And then we'll add the price, and what else? Yeah, the price. Okay, so let's go back to our code, and then let's replace the title with let's say Nike. Hold on. Nike Air Force 107. So that is the name of the shoes. And then here we'll add the category. Let's say men's shoes. And then we'll add another H5 at the bottom. That's for the price. Okay, and instead of saying go somewhere, let's replace it with view shoes. Alright, and if you can remember, the men's shoes is light, so we cannot see it, so we have to fix that using Bootstrap. So first of all, let's Google Bootstrap Colors. Alright, so this will give us the instruction on how we're going to change the colors. So we want the color to be set to this, like a light gray or something, or dark gray something. So we're just going to copy this. So we'll add the class name dot text secondary. So we're just going to add class name secondary, text secondary. Let's paste that, and then here text secondary. Save that, and let's reload. Alright, did I add a period? Okay, let's remove the period real quick. Okay, that's better. And what else? Alright, so we want to copy this, I guess. We were going to duplicate this to make it look good, or to simulate perhaps that there are tons of shoes inside our page already. So we're just going to do just that. Let's go back to our code, and I guess we just have to copy and paste it. So we'll copy this. Hold on, let's have it proper tabbing. Alright, so we're going to copy this. 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 times, and let's reload. There should be 4. Okay, this one's a lot better. Alright, okay, so we've already duplicated it. We've just copied and pasted, and obviously we want them to be separated at least. So let's do just that. Okay, let's go back to our codes, and inside our card, basically each card will be given margin. Okay, so the card right here, let's try it here. Card, and then our dot card, let's add 10px margin. Hi. Alright, so let's give it about 10px margin. Let's try, let's save, and let's reload. Okay, that's better. Okay, alright, this one's just a little bit better, but we'll get to it in just a moment. So at least the cards are now separated, and then we just have to add padding inside our column 9, our division. So let's do just that. Let's open up our code again, and let's see. Alright, our division, if you can remember, this is a division that has a row in it. Hold on, let's see what else we can do. Shoe container. Alright, so I guess on our call large 9, let's add another name here, and let's call it shoes display. Shoes display. Alright, so we'll add another class name, and then let's call it shoes display. Alright, and let's give it padding top. Let's give it about 50 px. Let's reload. Oops, that's not it. Alright, okay, that's better. And then we're just going to add this sort by. So meaning if we're going to click this, by default it will just display randomly, or it will just display according to the date it was added. Now once we're going to view it soon, we want the option to be for us to be able to view it by price, which is low to high or descending, and then price ascending, or ascending and descending, whatever. Right, so we're just going to add the sort option. So to do that, let's go back to our code, and obviously since it's at the top, let's create a division here. Div, let's add sort and another comment and sort. Alright, we're going to create a division here. Let's call it sort. And alright, so we're just going to copy. So asa ganita kita ani nga classic drop down here. Notice nga pareho siya ani, diba? So that's it. Let's go to our navigation at the top, navigation, and here we're just going to copy this. Alright, let's try to copy this one. Hold on. Okay, so this is for navigation. I think we're just going to copy this area right here, the UL only. So let's copy that, and then let's paste it here. Let's save and let's see how it looked like. Oops, we haven't added any button just yet. No, let's go back. So we'll have to copy this, the entire thing from the LI rather. So we'll copy that, and then let's remove sort. Okay, let's remove this, the UL, and alright, we're going to add a UL and we'll paste it right here. Save that. Let's see if there are any changes. Okay, so here it is. Alright, and obviously we will want this to, we can keep it as it is. So instead we're just going to, instead of brands, let's say sort by, or hold on. We're just going to remove the nav item, I think. Let's see. Okay, and then instead we're going to replace it with button. The nav link, let's replace it with button since we'll be using button instead of nav link. Just like that. Okay, and I think we have to, hold on. Okay, and then we'll erase the rest, and let's replace it with price low to high and price high to low. Save that. Okay, alright, that's it. Alright, and we absolutely want this icon, kaning drop, kaning arrow paubos. We want to paste it here. For some reason, wala siya drop down just like this. So here's what we're going to do. Let me get back to it real quick. Ano, we'll work on it in the future na lang once we're going to work with drop downs. For the meantime, we already have our options for sort, and then I guess that's it. So basically, that's for men, women, and kids. So that's for men, and for us to create one for women and kids, basically it's gonna be the same thing. And we're just going to do it quick. So we're going to add another file. Let's call it women.php, and we're just going to copy everything, paste it right here. We paste it inside women, but instead of okay, so here are the things that we're going to change. We'll move the active from men to women. To women. So this one will be the active. And then what else? And then here we'll say women's shoes. Excuse me. And then let's replace the picture with the women.jpg. And here it should say, instead of all men's shoes, it will say all women's shoes. Save that. Let's reload. And if we're going to click women, here it is. Alright, so it now says all women's shoes, and on the it shouldn't be saying dashboard. Here we'll replace it with men and kids. Since we're currently on inside women, we'll replace it with men and kids. So let's go to that. Let's do just that. Let's wear sidebar. Okay, so let's say other shoes. Let's do the same thing for men. Let's replace it with other shoes instead of dashboard. Where is it? Dada. Other shoes. Okay. Alright, so we're going to create another file, new file, and then this time let's say kids.php, and we'll paste the same thing. Copy and paste. Save. Alright, and let's replace the active instead of being in women. Let's set it to kids, and we want this to say kids shoes, and then it will say all kids shoes. And then here we'll have men and women. Let's reload. Okay, so press drop, men, alright, for some reason we haven't added women.php on our men. Women.php, save that. Kids. Alright, let's save, let's reload. Alright, here it is. And then we have kids. Alright, and let's replace the background. here. Let's change it to kids.jpg. Alright. Okay, so we have men, women, and kids. Okay, what else do we want? We want to add this one right here. Allow me to add this trick. So we want this footer to be added to all of the men, women, and kids, and the rest of our pages. And since we don't want, since there will be no changes, since pareha naman tanan atong footer for every web pages, so here's one trick that I'd like to show you on how to do it. Para di ta magsibalik-balik og code, we're going to create a file here. Let's call it footer.php, and let's open up our index. Let's copy the footer, this one right here. Let's copy this, and let's open up footer.php. Alright, and of course we just wanted to make sure that the the Bootstrap are still will still work. We're going to copy this link, okay, this one. So we'll add head, we'll paste it here, and then save. Alright, so we already have our footer.php. Now, how we're going to add it automatically to our web pages? So notice right now our men and women doesn't have any footer just yet. So all we need to do is, let's go to, let's say, men.php, and we're going to use this PHP script. At the bottom here, we'll add a PHP script. We'll say include, and then footer.php. Alright, so let's save that. Let's reload the men.php. Here it is. So we don't necessarily have to write the entire footer, we just have to create a footer.php, and then we're just going to use the php include function, and then it will automatically copy that whatever it is that is inside the footer.php to our page. So let's do the same thing. Let's go to women, and at the bottom we'll add include footer.php. Alright, so make sure that the footer.php is enclosed with with single quotation at least. We'll just copy that. Let's do the same thing for kids, and that's it. Let's save that. Let's reload everything. So this is for the men, this is for women, and here's for kids. Alright, notice that the footer automatically copied by itself. Alright, for the sake of being symmetric, we'll add just 2 more in this list of shoes. Tungagan rin nato para medyo balance kamay. So we'll copy this 1, 2. Same thing for the women. Oops, I think I did it wrong. Okay, same thing for the men. Oops, nakapi na sa women. Grabe si women, pakapinan jud. Alright, and then for the men, okay. Alright, so I think that's it for now. It's been a while now, because it's already, if I'm not mistaken, 1 hour kape na. So for the meantime, that's it. We will continue with the rest of the pages in our future lesson on our next meeting. So we will add the brands, and then another web page for adding a form. Okay, so that will be the last, and then after that I will check your progress, and then after you've already designed your web page, the website, we're going to proceed with the PHP and MySQL. Alright, so on our next meeting, we will add the product details page just like this, and the add new shoes, or basically this would be for the CRUD, add edit, so a form. Okay, so for your assignment, please work on the landing page, the home page, and then please continue working to at least 2 to 3 web pages. So diba, ang pinakauna ni your previous assessment includes create or preparing the list of the navigations. So you're going to create the design of all your navigations. That will be your assignment for this week and next week rather. Create the navigation, all the pages for your navigation, and then soon we're going to add more web pages to our website. Okay, so that'll be all for today. Stand by for the assessment and assignment that will be posted soon. Thank you guys for staying this far, and please have a good day.